Hello, this is Noelle Lansford. I'm doing my UX deliverable 1C, the paper prototype and video walkthrough. So I am redoing the website Screenplay Printing, which is a local printing company in Xenia. So one of the major problems with it, just off the bat, was the imagery and just the overall feel of it felt dated. So one thing that's different about it already is obviously the layout, but also there's a top navigation. Everything's full screen instead of in a little centered box down the center, and it feels a little bit more modern than when it was last created. So in my user testing, the task that I tried to get people to do, which nobody could do successfully, well, depends on how you look at it, was I told them to take a piece of artwork that I had sent them. It was just like a ping of a unicorn. And I wanted them to tell me or find a way to tell me how much it would cost to print that design on a navy women's shirt. So here's how I would do that with this one. So there are a couple ways to get to it. The first one would be the services link, or they could go ahead and hit the shirt. So say they hit services instead, then this would come up, giving them all the different options of the services that they could get. The other thing is just organizing their imagery. It was just kind of all over the place and a little bit dated just with the collages and everything. So after they pick the services, they'll realize that they want a shirt and click clothing. These are all just descriptions of things, just because some of their services are a little bit technical, such as offset printing and screen printing. So it might be nice for the user to be able to read a little bit about what they might want that for. But after they click clothing, then they would be on this page where they can see some of the popular fabrics, common colors. And right now they have these two really confusing buttons on their clothing page that take you to two broken links. Those websites do exist. I'm not sure if their users are just inactive now, but you can't view any type of shirt, and there's just so many options on those websites anyway that it might be nice to help the user, like, here's the most popular thing that people do, and a lot of people just want to print a shirt and not have something super complicated. So from here, they would be able to pick their fabric and read a little bit about why they might want each fabric. And then pick their color. So say they picked a cotton shirt for the shirt that I was asking for, they picked the blue. There is the option to see more on those two sites, but it kind of differentiates why you would want to use those two sites anyway, because that was the main question people had, is like, why are there two buttons that look exactly the same that go to two different things? So just explaining, like, use this if you're trying to get this kind of shirt, or use this if you're trying to get this kind of shirt. And then down at the bottom, most people were interested in filling out some kind of form to get an order or a quote or a preview. So I thought a Google form would be the best way to go with this, just because it's a small business, they can maintain it. And then also the sender gets a copy of their replies if they want. Some people that was really important to them, and then other people not so much. So that would be the first way to get to that. The other way of getting to that would just be if you were on the services page and then you clicked the shirt, it would take you straight to this page. The other thing people were complaining about was the contact section. They were all mail tos, so it was really a convoluted way to get to the email address, where you're having your native mail app pop up, or you're having just a broken link and you're reading the URL preview in the bottom left corner of the browser. So I thought it might be nice to have a contact page. So if they have any other questions, I went ahead and put it on their front page like they already have, since those are probably common questions that people want to know when they land on here, as well as adding their hours. I don't actually know their hours, so take that or leave it. The other thing was just having an identity when they first get on and making their longevity of their business a good thing rather than negative, because everybody was really not happy about how old everything looked. So once they click contact in the navigation, they would land on a page something like this, where it's like, oh, yay, glad you found us. And then have their phone number, their email address, and address again. But then also just have that need a quote, preview, or order, place now, and it would go to the Google form. So just like multiple ways so that different users whose minds work differently can get to the same places would be a good thing. There is an about page, but it would basically be what it is now, just cleaned up a little bit and just kind of following the same layout, so that they can just look a little modern. And they're twins too, which is cool. And a lot of people thought that was cool, but it was really confusing for people because they're two separate images and they're like, is this the same person on the website twice? So I think they could have fun with that. And I think that a lot of people actually said they really wanted an about page because when they're printing locally or something like that, they want to know who they're dealing with, if they're going to have to deal with them in person, just to kind of get an idea. So that's all I have. Thank you. I've enjoyed the class and the exercises so far.